You've seen it on charcuterie boards, in gourmet sandwiches, and probably even on your favorite pizza. But have you ever stopped to wonder what makes salami so iconic, so flavorful, and so scientifically fascinating? Salami isn't just meat. It's a biological masterpiece, a product of fermentation, time, temperature, and microbial collaboration. It looks simple, a slice of red speckled with white. But behind that marbled pattern lies a process more complex than most people realize. Why does it take weeks or even months to make a single salami? What role does mold actually play? And how do good bacteria make sure bad bacteria stay out? In this video, we're diving deep into the mouth-watering mystery of salami. We'll explore how ancient preservation techniques evolved into modern food science, uncover the role of microbes, and explain why salami can last for months without refrigeration. So grab a seat and maybe a slice, because what you're about to learn will change the way you look at this beloved cured meat forever. This is not just about taste, it's about chemistry, tradition, and the art of turning raw pork into one of the most celebrated meats in the world. Welcome to the secret science of salami. Long before refrigeration, ancient civilizations faced a problem: how to keep meat from spoiling. The solution was curing. Among the oldest and most refined forms of cured meat is salami. The word salami comes from the Latin salumen, meaning salted meat. It dates back to the Roman Empire, where soldiers needed food that could last for weeks. Salting, fermenting, and drying turned pork into a stable, flavorful source of protein that survived long journeys and harsh winters. By the Middle Ages, salami had taken on regional identities. In Italy, it flourished in Tuscany and Emilia-Romagna. Spain developed the spicy chorizo. France gave rise to saucisson sec. Even Eastern Europe embraced fermented sausages as daily staples. Salami became more than food. It became cultural. Each village and butcher developed unique spice blends and techniques. No two salamis were the same. When Europeans immigrated to the Americas, they brought salami traditions with them. Today, it's a global delicacy, from New York delis to street markets in Buenos Aires. Despite industrial advances, traditional salami making continues. It reminds us of a time when food required patience, care, and deep respect for nature. Every slice you enjoy carries the legacy of centuries of craftsmanship. Behind every great salami is a carefully selected cut of pork. While it might seem like any meat would do, only specific cuts are ideal for salami production. And it's not just about flavor, it's about structure, texture, and chemistry. The primary muscle used is pork shoulder, prized for its balance of lean meat and connective tissue. This gives salami its bite, firm yet tender. But what truly sets salami apart is the fat. Salami typically includes 25 to 30% back fat, the dense white fat from the pig's back. This fat isn't just filler, it's essential. Back fat has a high melting point, so it stays solid during the curing process, helping preserve the salami's iconic marbled look and chewy texture. Fat also acts as a flavor reservoir. It absorbs the spices, holds moisture, and contributes to that rich mouthfeel that makes salami irresistible. Choosing the right meat and fat isn't just tradition, it's science. It ensures the mixture binds properly, ferments evenly, and cures without spoiling. In short, this early step can make or break the entire process. So the next time you enjoy a slice of salami, remember, it started with the perfect cut. Salt and pepper? That's just the beginning. What makes salami truly unique is its signature seasoning blend. A carefully guarded mix of spices, herbs, and sugars that transforms ground pork and fat into a savory masterpiece. And while recipes vary from one producer to another, certain ingredients are nearly universal. It all starts with salt. Not only does it enhance flavor, it's the first layer of preservation, drawing out moisture and creating an inhospitable environment for harmful bacteria. Next comes black pepper, either cracked or ground, adding sharpness and depth. Garlic is another staple, often fresh or powdered, bringing warmth and aroma. Some recipes introduce coriander, fennel, white wine, paprika, or even nutmeg, depending on the regional style. Sugar or dextrose is also essential, not for sweetness but to feed the beneficial bacteria that kickstart fermentation. These microbes turn sugar into acid, helping lower the pH and keep the salami safe to eat. What's fascinating is how these spices interact during fermentation. Over time, they meld, soften, and evolve. The final product isn't overly spicy or garlicky, it's balanced, deep, and complex. In many ways, the seasoning is the salami's fingerprint. No two blends are the same, and that's exactly the point. Each bite tells a story. At first glance, salami might just look like dried meat, but its transformation is nothing short of microbial alchemy. Fermentation is the heart of what makes salami safe, flavorful, and stable. When the meat and fat mixture is seasoned, it's also inoculated with starter cultures, beneficial bacteria, mainly Lactobacillus and Pediococcus. These microbes play the starring role in fermentation. Once the salami is stuffed into casings, it's moved to fermentation chambers, where temperature and humidity are carefully controlled, usually around 22 to 26 degrees Celsius with 85 to 90% humidity. The starter cultures immediately get to work, consuming sugars in the mixture and producing lactic acid. This lowers the pH of the salami to below 5.0. making it too acidic for harmful bacteria like Listeria or Salmonella to survive. But this isn't just about safety. The acidification also changes the texture, color, and taste. Proteins begin to denature, firming up the meat. The reddish-pink color stabilizes thanks to reactions between the acid and curing agents. And most importantly, the flavor becomes tangy, complex, and unmistakably fermented. Some traditional producers skip added cultures entirely, relying on wild bacteria from their environment. These batches ferment slowly and develop unique, deeper flavor profiles, but require more skill to manage. Fermentation typically lasts between 24 to 72 hours. Timing is everything. Too short, and the salami won't acidify enough. Too long, and it becomes overly sharp. In the end, fermentation isn't just about preservation. It's the step that unlocks salami's character. Through science and nature working together, this invisible process transforms raw ingredients into something rich, safe, and flavorful. Once fermentation is complete, the salami isn't ready to eat. It's ready to dry. Drying is where salami truly earns its name as a cured meat. In this phase, the salami is transferred to aging chambers kept at cooler temperatures, typically between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius, with humidity levels around 70 to 80%. These conditions must be carefully maintained to allow moisture to escape gradually without drying out the outer surface too quickly. Why so much care? Because drying does more than remove water. It shapes the salami's final flavor, texture, and weight. On average, a properly dried salami will lose 30 to 40% of its original weight. This water loss concentrates the flavors and gives salami its firm, chewy bite. Airflow also plays a critical role. Fans circulate air evenly around hanging salamis, ensuring uniform dehydration. If conditions fluctuate too much, the casing can dry faster than the interior, trapping moisture inside. A recipe for spoilage. Time is another essential ingredient. Depending on the size and style, drying can last anywhere from a few weeks to several months. Larger salamis like soppressata or felino take longer but develop deeper complexity. Smaller ones like snack sticks or mini chorizos cure faster with lighter flavor. Traditional producers sometimes rely on natural caves or cellars, where temperature and humidity naturally hover in the ideal range. These spaces offer unique microbial ecosystems that subtly influence the taste of each batch. Similar to how terroir affects wine or cheese, drying also affects the casing. A natural white mold often develops, forming a protective layer that preserves the salami and contributes earthy, mushroom-like aromas. This mold is usually brushed off or left intact, depending on the product and local tradition. In the end, drying isn't passive. It's an active, carefully monitored stage that defines the salami's personality. From flavor to texture, it all comes together here. Most people see mold on food and immediately toss it out. But on salami, that fuzzy white coat is a badge of honor. The white mold that develops on the surface of traditional salami isn't just harmless, it's beneficial. Known as Penicillium nalgiovense, this mold is carefully cultivated and intentionally sprayed onto the surface of salami before drying begins. It creates a breathable, edible layer that plays multiple important roles. First, it protects the salami from unwanted molds and harmful bacteria. By occupying the surface, this good mold acts like a microbial security system, outcompeting other organisms for space and nutrients. Second, it helps regulate drying. The mold forms a slightly moist microclimate on the casing, preventing the exterior from hardening too quickly and allowing for even moisture loss throughout the salami. And third, it adds flavor. As the mold grows, it releases enzymes that gently break down fats and proteins in the outer layers of the salami, contributing subtle mushroomy or earthy notes that enrich the overall flavor profile. Not all salamis have mold. Some industrial or pre-sliced versions skip it for visual reasons. But in artisanal products, that powdery coat is a sure sign of authenticity, craftsmanship, and flavor. Before salami reaches your plate, it must pass one final test: quality control. In modern facilities, each batch is carefully inspected before packaging. Salamis are weighed to confirm moisture loss, tapped to detect hollow spots, and sliced open to verify marbling and consistency. The goal? Uniformity, safety, and flavor in every single link. Producers also perform microbial testing to ensure the pH has dropped to safe levels and that the product is free from pathogens. If any batch doesn't meet the standards, it doesn't leave the facility. But beyond the lab, there's the human factor. Master salami makers rely on experience, intuition, and sensory checks, smell, touch, even sound, to confirm the salami's readiness. It's part science, part craft. Once approved, salami is packaged according to type. Whole links might be wrapped in breathable paper or sealed in natural casings. Sliced varieties go into vacuum-sealed packs for supermarkets. Premium versions are often sold with the mold intact, emphasizing their artisanal nature. Today, salami is loved around the world, from traditional Italian delis to trendy tapas bars in Tokyo. It's a bridge between old-world techniques and modern tastes, offering rich, bold flavor that transcends borders and generations. Salami isn't just a snack, it's a story told in spices, fat, and time. Behind every slice is a journey of tradition, microbiology, and careful craftsmanship. From ancient preservation methods to modern food science, it represents the perfect fusion of art and technique. Whether you enjoy it on a charcuterie board, in a sandwich, or straight from the fridge, remember the complexity behind that rich, tangy bite. If you found this journey into the world of salami fascinating, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. There's more food science and flavor coming your way.